Hello guys, welcome back to the channel. We are at our third episode of this amazing, honestly, I don't know if I can call it documentary that Chuck provided us with. And I did the first part, second part, and like I was saying, this is the third. If you miss the other two, don't worry. At the end of the video, you're gonna find them and you can click on them and see. I'm talking about the Pinoys that did Filipino proud. And you guys, under the other videos, you told me that I have to see the third and the fourth part because others, they just, I don't know, started and then stopped, not me. So we're gonna have the fourth part as well. Is gonna come on the channel and a lot of other videos. So make sure to subscribe to the channel. I have another channel on YouTube. You can find the link in the description down below. It's Alex N channel. You can find a lot of other reactions over there. So go and show some support as well. And I'm gonna stop talking because it's gonna be a long video, but I'm sure it's gonna be amazing because Filipino people are amazing. So let's see what it's going to be in this episode.
Just think like Efren and then you'll be all right.
Well, Reyes, what can you say? His mind was like Einstein's, you know? He had the greatest ability to think and see a shot that no one else could see.
The zigzag shot.
Wow.
Yeah, it was amazing.
Do you believe he was going to make that shot?
I thought he was, I'm sure he was just trying to hit it, and he made it, but the way he kicked at it, he had another way to kick at the ball, and I still to this day don't understand why he kicked that way. He could have kicked the other way, but he kicked the way he could win.
Yes, he did.
And what kind of shots are those?
A head scratcher, but a genius. Toothless, but the most dangerous.
Yes, baby.
His legend was so famous that some aspiring pool players had all their teeth removed just to replicate his success.
Nag-decision ako nung anong yun na magpabunot din ng ngipin para masabing ano talaga ni Efren na talagang hawig na parang Efren din.
And I guess it worked. Meet the magician, Efren Bata Reyes. He was born and raised in Pampanga. He's the fifth child among 9 siblings. It was quite a big family to keep afloat, so at age 5, his dad brought him along to Manila to have a better income to support them. Efren was a shy kid growing up and struggled to interact with kids his age, so instead of playing outside, he worked as a spotter and a janitor at his uncle's billiards hall called Lucky 13. He made it his home as he played billiards all day and slept on the pool table every night. This is when he started gambling at a very young age. He was
Guys, I don't know if it's only me, but all this story, it's fascinating for me. I mean, the other 2 episodes as well, but let's stick on this story over here. It's like a movie screenplay script. The story of this guy. I don't know how it's going to evolve, but till now, if I will be like a director or something, I will choose to make this movie because till now it's a wow.
so young that he was too short to reach the pool table, so he would stack some coke cases just to make some of his shots. This was when he got the nickname Bata to distinguish him from an older Efren who also played pool in their hall. As Efren continued playing, he kept rapidly improving until he beat every player in their hall. So at age 21, his uncle started bringing him along to bigger money matches. The Hustler movie was very popular at the time, so gambling at different pool halls was a thing and Efren was beating everybody. There was a time when he went to Clark Air Base to literally farm dollars from American soldiers. And because of this, his name had become a terror in pool halls and he started running out of opponents. So his income from gambling started to run dry. He had no choice but to work for a local comic printing press which paid him only 90 pesos or $2 a month. Obviously, he wasn't satisfied with how much he was making, so in just less than a year, he went right back into playing billiards. In 1975, Efren started planning a trip to the US to play against American pool players. But an American sports writer apparently had been taking notice of him while he was beating everybody. This writer went back to the US and informed their best pool players that a new threat is emerging. His name is Efren Reyes. Because of this, the Americans were able to scout him and found out about his reputation, so this ruined Efren's plan to hustle American players for money. For those who are confused, hustling is kind of similar to smurfing in video games. It's like a mythic player playing in the Grandmaster rank in Mobile Legends to farm easy wins. In Efren's case, he wanted to farm wins which translate into dollars to support his family. In order to counter that obstacle, he decided to take on an alias, Cesar Morales.
Oh, so he
This
changed the
allowed him
name.
to play everybody in the US and beat every one of them, billiard hall after billiard hall. He left a trail of destruction, leaving each opponent demoralized, not knowing what hit them. Like, I swear, his story almost sounds like a backstory of an OP anime sensei who looks like a joke but when in action, transforms into some kind of a forbidden folklore beast. Anyway, his hustling days continued in the 80s until he discovered the big money tournaments. He entered under his alias and went on to win his first ever tournament as Cesar Morales. This gained him instant fans. But when he was asked to sign one of those autographs, he accidentally exposed his identity because he subconsciously wrote his real name. And because of this, his hustling days were over, so he focused on playing and dominating tournaments under his real name. He quickly earned the nickname The Magician because of his aggressive style of play and shot selections that no one, even the greatest pool players, dared to attempt, especially in high-pressure situations.
Efren, 这更高级，这更高级。
Attempting those shots is one thing, but making them consistently just puts the man in a league of his own.
Watch the 9. Look at the 9!
Come on, man.
What a shot!
Just like this one, Efren was just a bystander and some younger professional players playing pool were taking too long in planning their next shot, so they handed over the cue stick to Efren. They had no idea that Efren already saw the shot from a mile away. He did it with his bag on his back and a hanky on his hand. Here are more examples.
So Efren looking up. Oh, wow naman yun. Shot yun Efren. Basta Reyes.
Son. Ayos.
This is impossible. Jesus Christ. Look at that.
Aside from these amazing shots, Efren is also the author of the greatest shot in pool history. He was playing against one of the greatest pool players at the time, Earl Strickland. The match was very close as they were tied at 12 racks each in a race to 13 match. Whoever wins the rack becomes the champion. Strickland did the break to pocket the 2 ball, then attempted to pull off a safety play, hiding the 1 ball behind the 7 and 8 ball, but he failed to do so Efren took advantage. He then handled business as usual.
Ooh, does he hit these shots good? Perfectly hit.
But not until the 5 ball became the object ball.
A little bit. Just a little bit, I said. What? He didn't have to do that. You see what I'm talking about?
That's right. Now,
Why did he do that?
He got himself into trouble because the 6 ball was slightly blocking it. But instead of doing a safety play, Efren did this.
Oh, no, he didn't. Watch the 8. Watch the 8.
Oh my goodness.
Strickland said,
Oh
okay, you
my
can have that ball.
goodness.
An impressive shot for sure, but this wasn't the greatest shot I was talking about because this shot has gotten him into an even bigger trouble. This is the cue ball, and this is the object ball.
Okay.
All 3 other balls are blocking every option Efren had, so attempting a safety play, let alone hitting the object ball, was virtually impossible. But despite the predicament, Efren would proceed to leave his mark by pulling off the greatest shot ever made in the history of billiards. The iconic Z shot. People were in disbelief, including his opponent. Efren didn't even have the chance to finish the rack because his legendary shot obliterated all the hope that was left in Strickland's body as he proceeded to surrender shortly after that.
No wonder you asked me to do this.
What a finish. And I really had to...
This got Efren his 3rd straight championship win in the Sands Regency Open, solidifying his case as one of the greatest pool players to have ever lived. What I like the most about Efren is despite all his success, he remained humble. While some opponents would flex on him,
I'm breaking the balls very well, so that's good for me. I've been playing pool 40 years. I feel like I'm playing perfect. I feel good. I feel very comfortable. It just looks like a one-man show. You know, that's why this game is the toughest game on the planet.
he'd usually just respond with humility.
Well, I feel nervous now because I don't know if I'm playing good or am I playing bad. I need lucky to play.
And then proceeds to give his opponent a high-quality billiard seminar.
Yeah, you like this so far, huh? Well, looks pretty good over in that section, huh?
And after embarrassing them, he'd usually just say this iconic line.
I get lucky at you. If you play like this I used before.
I can say only one thing, honestly. I mean, I get emotional as well. A lot of Filipino people are like this, and it's a quality that you guys have over there, and it's amazing. This guy, it's my first time. I mean, I play pool sometimes. You go out for a beer. I'm not anything good, but his way of being, his face, and his humility just makes you just love the guy. Honestly.
In basketball, there is MJ. Wow. In billiards, there is Efren. In bowling, there is Pae.
He seemed to step off his shot on most occasions.
The man literally proved that looks can be deceiving. A total of 6 world championships and hold a total of 4 world records, making him the undisputed GOAT in the sport.
See, guys, I was thinking like, now knowing a lot, maybe not that much, but still, before I had this channel, I didn't know quite anything about the Philippines, I mean. And seeing all this, not only these beautiful and talented people from this kind of videos or singers, but I'm still thinking now, how many people are there with amazing voices, amazing talents in sport, in dancing, in you name it. And unfortunately, a lot of them, they just remain anonymous, because of, problems economically and all that kind of stuff. And it's a shame, because in that country, there is something special. I don't know. God bless that Philippines in a way, in my opinion. Like I say, I had some documentaries as well, and they're going to be on the channel, others, for get to know even more and more and more, because it's beautiful. And we are at the half of this video. I don't know what is going to come next, but it's amazing. And again, the original video down below. Thank you, Chuck, for creating all this. Go and show some support to that channel as well, because putting this together, it's hard work and it's beautiful for us to see, like to understand more.
He carried our flag since day one, making his entire nation proud. But pride never got into his head.
Now listen, you've got the fourth champion, the World Cup title. Are you going to come back for number 5?
I don't know. It all depends on the Lord, because I have to give credit to God.
You're very moved, obviously, and so are we. Congratulations.
Beautifully said, man.
To this day, he's still active in the sport as the only Asian coach to have the USBC gold level certification and continues to hone the skills of the younger generation. But Paeng's generation is just one of a kind, because another phenom was also wreaking havoc in the different department, the world of speed.
Let's see this.
Lydia De Vega was born and raised in Maykawayan, Bulacan. In her childhood, she rarely became the it when playing tag with friends because she was just too fast. This got the attention of the school's athletic coaches, so she got invited to train to compete in the sport of track and field. Lydia's dad was a cop, so he was very strict with her, so she kept her training in secret until her dad started noticing her getting tired more often, which led to him finding out about it. Her tatang then gave her a condition that he would only allow her to compete if he coaches her himself. Lydia agreed, so not long after, she started dominating the sport by winning her first 2 gold medals in the 1981 SEA Games in both the 200 and 400 meter dash. This got her qualified to compete in the 1982 Asian Games. This is where the big names compete, including the favorite to win the event, India's well-known speed powerhouse, PT Usha.
宇田1着でゴールイン3冠達成。続いてクリシンカル、第3位に日本の磯崎が入りました。タイムは52秒18です。
But our hungry 18-year-old Lydia was unfazed by the pressure. At first, Lydia seems to be falling behind in the 5th place right before Usha. But on the 50-meter mark, Lydia shifted
look at
gears
that
and went pedal to the
acceleration.
metal, pulling off the upset and gaining her first ever Asian Games gold medal at a very young age, dethroning Usha in the process.
Oh, man. Look at that acceleration.
Right here, but Lydia De Vega now by a commanding lead over PPU. She will win this.
Man, the class.
Check this out. Just so much amplitude, so clean.
If you enjoy anime-like backstories, then look no further than Carlos Adriel Yulo. He was born and raised in Malate, Metro Manila. Their house was close to Rizal Memorial Sports Complex, so he grew up watching Filipino gymnasts training and competing there. So it was only natural for him to take the same path. He trained every day at a very young age, and it paid off as he won most of his competitions in minor leagues. He kept training until he became a teenager despite the country's inferior facilities and minimal athlete support. That's until he met the Japanese gymnastic coach Munehiro Kugimiya. He was sent to the Philippines by the Japan Gymnastics Association to train overseas athletes with good potential. On Coach Kugimiya's first visit, he immediately noticed the disadvantages of Carlos' training conditions.
休みの日は休みの日だって考えもすごい強いですし、時間にもルーズですし、やっぱこの時間から始めて集まるのが最初の時は2時間後ぐらいじゃない開始の時間。
It kinda hurts hearing this from a coach, but I cannot disagree because it does happen. Maybe it's the reason why this diving team flopped in the 2015 SEA Games.
Philippine diving team, they're having a rough go at it to start off with. Everything got started when diver John Elmerson from Riga earned a 0 for his routine, which exactly go as planned as he landed on his back. And then his teammate John David Pahoyo followed him up in a similar fashion by not completing the rotation on his dive and going in knee first. So obviously lots of reaction on social media.
Sheesh, they were the literal Splash Brothers. Anyway, Coach Kugimiya didn't want Carlos' potential to be wasted, so he offered him to train in Japan. Carlos grabbed the opportunity, but he never realized how hard it would become for him. He left his family in the Philippines and started living together with Coach Kugimiya in a small apartment while studying high school at Teikyo University. This is a school where most elite student athletes go. Carlos was only on his second year. He struggled in school because he suddenly had to learn to both read and write in Japanese. To accelerate his improvement, Carlos' coach required him to write entries in his diary on a daily basis. He studied during the daytime and spent the rest of his free time training with his coach. Our young Carlos obviously got culture shocked, so he started showing some signs of demotivation. He would make mistakes he normally wouldn't and fall down more often than usual. Coach Kugimiya's very strict training approach wasn't helping either.
Focusが going to what again you doing like this でば The going to big injury if you don't do that there また考えないでやってんの Without thinking Don't just training.
Carlos' diary entries never talked about his feelings, so Coach Kugimiya had no clue about what to do with him anymore. It was so bad that there was a point when Carlos told him that he wanted to quit.
Lumapit po ako sa coach ko, naiyak po ako. Sabi ko na, magkikwit na ako coach.
The coach was at his wit's end, so he decided to pull off one more trick to motivate Carlos. He brought him to an all-Japan national gymnastics competition. Coach Kugimiya was one of the judges there, and one of the competitors is Japan's Olympic gold medalist, Kenzo Shirai. This guy is considered as one of the greatest young gymnasts of today. He holds 2 Guinness World Records as the youngest gymnast to ever win a gold medal on a world stage at 17, and the only human being to have pulled off a salto backward stretch with quadruple twist, or known today as the Shirai. Yes, it was named after him along with 5 other great moves he invented himself. The dude was an absolute genius. He rightfully earned the nickname Mr. Twister, and I'm not even surprised about it. Watching Kenzo perform and win seemed to have made Carlos uneasy. He might have just realized that he still had a long way to go. But in that day's diary entry, he never talked about quitting. Instead, he wrote about his admiration for Kenzo's talent. He started writing about his feelings, which was kind of unusual for him. The next day, he showed up early in the gym and wrote his own training plan without being told by his coach. He seemed to have found a new source of motivation. Later that year, Carlos competed in the 2018 World Artistic Gymnastics Championships in Doha, Qatar. And guess what? One of his opponents was Mr. Twister himself, Kenzo Shirai. He performed first and of course lived up to his nickname.
The reigning world champion on this apparatus from Japan, Kenzo Shirai. Oh, and the triple twisting double tuck to start.
Man, how good he is. Wow.
He twists so quickly.
Oh, look how fast he is.
2.5 back, 2.5 front. And that's a quadruple twisting somersault. Deep breath. Focus on the task at hand. 3.5 twists, followed by the full twisting front. So difficult. And a triple twist to finish. You have time to spare. That was Kenzo Shirai.
Such a terrifying way to establish immense pressure. They can only imagine what Carlos was feeling at that moment because he's the next one to perform.
And what a moment for this youngster, Carlos Yulo from Philippines, just 18 years of age, his first year as a senior. Small gymnast, but he packs a punch.
The announcer said that because Carlos only stands at 4'11". While Kenzo is known for his twists, Carlos shines with his power and elevation.
Ooh, beautiful.
Double pike half, beautiful fly. The score coming in, 14.6. He moves into the silver medal position.
Perfect for sure, but it still made him the first Filipino and Southeast Asian gymnast to have ever won a medal on a world stage. He kept competing and training after the event until it was time for another shot the following year. Kenzo Shirai didn't make it to the competition because of an ankle injury, but the guy who beat them, Arthur De La Loyan, was there, but surprisingly, champion. But you guys might have already heard of the saying, never count a Filipino out.
It's Yulo! 15.3 for Carlos!
Efren is there.
What a ride this video has been. Imagine if Carlos really quit back then. None of this would have ever happened. And this is why he was always very grateful to his coach.
Wala po ako ngayon dito sa harap niyo kung hindi po dahil dun sa kanya.
So what did we learn from their stories? For me, it's their unrelenting guts and determination. They did not win just because they are Filipinos. They won because they put in the work. They went through loss, pain, and insurmountable obstacles. They had the choice to make those things become the reason for their failure, but instead, they made it become the reason for their success. And that's what makes them Filipino. So what about you? Are you here to just listen to Filipino success stories? Or decide to become the story?
Beautiful. Thank you, Chuck. Thank you again, man. Wow. These are, I think, like I said at the, almost at the beginning of the video, these stories are, you can make movies from them. They're so unbelievable, beautifully honest. And the sacrifice, the pain, the success, the loss, it's mind-blowing. And I don't know if it's only another part, so part 4 that is going to be on the channel, because in my opinion, I will watch this like the whole day. So anyways, Chuck, again, thank you, man. And the fourth part is going to be on the channel. Guys, I'm not going to talk that much. Beautiful. I'm curious if there are more stories out there with Efren and with all of them, actually. I would really like to watch it, especially those shots from Efren. I mean, like, mind-blowing, honestly. And yeah, thank you guys for watching. Thank you for the support. Thank you for being Filipinos, amazing people. And again, like I always say, until next time, stay safe.